Coach, you say you try to be the same guy every day, but have you learned anything about yourself in the last 3 weeks?
Well, I think the reality of it is that we're constantly evaluating what we're doing. We think that we're improving all the time, or at least one of the things that you can't fool yourself in this business. You have to be very honest about where you are and what your team can do and how you're performing. We assess ourselves constantly. We don't always tell all of you guys what we think and where we're improving and how we're trying to do it. Yeah, I think I've grown a lot as a person, and I think I've grown a lot as a coach. Learned a ton. Learned a lot about human nature. It's one of the first experiences that I've had with losing, and it really wears on people. And I've been so proud of the kids and the people in this organization with their professionalism throughout this whole thing. Completely different than anything that you would normally expect under the circumstances. These kids have practiced hard every single day. We just have some places that we were young and inexperienced or what have you, and that needs some improvement. But they've done terrific. And we evaluate things constantly, and I'll take some time here, starting on Monday, to sit down and look at the entire 3 years and what we did and how we did it. And anybody who's got any sense does that. But while you're in the middle of it, all you can do is make the best decisions with the best information that you have on hand. That's what we've tried to do.
Coach, you kind of just touched on it, but what do you think you're leaving behind here as far as the players you're leaving behind the program, and is it better than when you got here?
I think as a sports organization, we are better than when we arrived. From a win-loss standpoint, I think this has been a very tumultuous 5 years. I think that the reality is that two different coaches have basically finished their tenure here the same way. And so I think there are some things that obviously for the next coach to have success and be successful, I think some things need to be evaluated. But I think that this is a team that has good young players, guys like Brandon Harold and Tyson Hartman and other players. Good young players are going to be terrific. Zach Hansen, some of these guys, Joseph Castenboyd, weren't playing. We were redshirting quite a few kids. But I think that this team will have some talent. There'll be some things that need to be improved for sure to make sure that we can kind of get out of this little doldrum that we've been in here for the last 5 years.
Coach, you said you learned some things about human nature. What did you learn?
Well, what I've learned about human nature is that what people are really resilient, and they really fight through what could be normally trying circumstances, particularly when they're competitors. And when people in the outside world are telling you that you should cave in or give in or there is no hope, that's not what the human spirit's all about. That's why people do climb mountains or go find hidden treasures and find their dreams, because they don't accept what's conventional wisdom or what's given to them that they should believe. And I found a bunch of kids that really bought in, believed, and despite the fact that we didn't win the games that we wanted to win at all times, they came back and were terrific and resilient. And that's what I found out about the human spirit, and it's indomitable and it's terrific.
Does that apply to you as well?
I'm sorry?
Does that apply to you as well, these last 2.5 weeks?
I hope so. I think other people have a chance to evaluate that, but I would believe so. I think that the one way I was raised and the way that I've been raised not only as a kid but in this profession is to be the same guy every day, be really consistent in what you're doing, have a plan, and then work that plan, make adjustments along the way. And you know what? Sometimes you hit it right, and sometimes it takes a little more time, and that's, I think, the lessons that we've all learned.
Appropriate that Ian Campbell blocks a field goal, recovers a fumble. He's the last senior introduced. It looks like he gave him an extra big hug. Can you talk about that relationship?
Yeah, I love the kid. He's an awesome kid. He and I are very close. As far as a young man who was a walk-on, we came here. I remember with Mo Lattimore going on the board when we first arrived here, and his name came up going through all the players, and I said, what's this kid's story? And Mo says, I think he's got a chance. And I said, should we give this guy a scholarship? He goes, I believe so. And so that's what we did, and he's never disappointed, not one time. He's an awesome kid, great leader. You don't become a captain and Black Lion Award winner and all those things that your peers recognize without doing it and being that kind of example daily. And that's who he's been. He's been that kind of example daily. He's been that kind of leader. And I don't know that anyone cares about people more than he does. And I think that's what makes him such a great leader and a great player, because he cares. And very satisfying that he'll break the record for blocked kicks in a season. Very satisfied with that, and it's very satisfied for him in particular. I don't think any player's blocked 3 field goals in a season in Kansas State history, so pretty awesome. And he's a wonderful kid who I absolutely love.
Coach, I know you may not have a definitive answer, but what's next for you?
I have no clue. I have no clue. lot of the phone's been ringing a lot, but I've asked everybody just to wait till Monday and give us some time to try to do a good job for these seniors. Take a little time tomorrow and watch some games and sit down and try to evaluate what I can do to help our assistant coaches, what I can help from these players. I want these players to do a good job in school. I want them to do a real good job with having an open mind and really giving the new head coach a chance to buy in. I think that the longer it takes for kids to buy in, the more struggles you have. And we all want to see Kansas State do well. Zoe and I will always be Wildcat fans, and I'm from here, and I want K-State to do real well, and that won't change.